Good day, everyone. I will be presenting assessment on the practice of CSR. Our approach will be making use of the 5 W's: why, who, what, where, and when. And as to our 5 W's, why will be for the importance of assessment. What? We'll look at the basis to anchor our assessment. When are we going to conduct the assessment, and who should perform it, and where the standards should be coming from. Now, as to the importance of assessment, do remember that CSR assessment is an evaluation of how well. So if this is an evaluation of how well a company has integrated corporate social responsibility into its business. Thus, according to the UN Global Compact, this is a universal language for corporate social responsibility for growth and innovation, competitive advantage, future business success, and for the global reporting initiative. This would be for transparency, performance measures of actions taken, and to publicly report the impact of the activities of the organization in a structured way. And as to the ASEAN Corporate Social Responsibility Network, this would promote responsible, inclusive, resilient, and sustainable enterprises. Then for your Investopedia, social responsibility empowers the organization, employees to leverage corporate resources for us to be socially responsible and bolstering brand imaging, customer retention, investment opportunities, bottom line financial, and employee engagement. All of which are actually part of the the sustainability reporting of the organization, since CSR is now part of the sustainability reporting. Now, what about the assessment basis, which would actually be the anchor of our evaluation? We have the GRI framework, which is the world's widely adopted CSR reporting standards. It looks into the environmental, social governance of the firm or organization. Then we have the UN Global Impact, which is the world's largest CSR initiative into the 10th principle, according to 10th principle. And the code there would be, we have to RECI SADC Prof, because this would focus on HEAL. The HEAL will be, what would you mean by HEAL? That is looking at human rights, looking at environmental issues, your anti-corruption, and labor. So this 10 principle will be all about the areas of HEAL. Then we have the ISO 2600, which is an international standard on CSR guidance, which is looking at this code, See Good, which would be, again, as will be as to your social aspect. We would be looking at the society, the environment, and the economy of activities, operations of the firm. The other three assessment bases would be the RUGGIE principle, which is a widely accepted, recognized CSR framework under the pillars of protect, respect, and remedy. Then in the ILO convention, we have this is an organization which is the only one which focuses on the labor issues in a wide in a comprehensive manner, and focusing on the 8 fundamentals and the 5 R's framework, the key dimensions of the system. And let's go into the details of the discussion of the different bases. It would be anchored on Carroll's CSR pyramid. And the first level is looking at economic responsibility to be profitable, which is required by society. And we have to obey the law, the legal responsibility, again, required by the society, and ethical responsibility, which is expected by the society, and the philanthropic responsibility, which is desired by the society. Then, how about the GRI framework, which we say that it is the widely adopted CSR reporting standard? It focuses on economic performance, the environmental performance, and social performance, which is a triple bottom line focus of the organization, looking at profit, looking at planet, and the people, while the 10 principles of Global Compact, which focuses on heal, again, the areas on human rights, labor, and your environment, and anti-corruption. This would be looking at your respect to support internationally recognized human rights, ensure that your company does not participate in any way in the violation of human rights, support association, and recognize to open collective bargaining, eliminate all forms of forced or compulsory labor, and eradicate all forms of child labor in your productive chain, stimulate all practices that eliminate any form of discrimination at the workforce, assume a responsible, preventive, and productive posture towards environmental challenges, develop initiatives and practices to promote and divulge environmental responsibility, promote the development and dissemination of environmentally responsible technologies, and last one, fight corruption in all of its forms, including extortion and bribery. Then the ISO CSR guidance, which focuses on society, environment, and the economy, will be looking at the accountability and good corporate citizenship of governance, the human rights, labor practices, the environment, fair operating practices, our consumer issues, community involvement. So this would look into the holistic integrated approach. Then the RUGGIE principle will be focusing on the state protection by having policies, legislation, and regulation to protect human rights and make sure that the businesses would actually be respecting human rights throughout the value chain by acting with due diligence, addressing adverse impact, and remedy the victims' cases on human rights abuses through judicial remedies. So these are the three pillars of the UN guiding principle by looking at the duty to protect, responsibility to respect, and access to effective remedy, which to make sure that the operations and supply chain of the organization are actually do not infringe upon the rights of others. Then the ILO convention would be looking at the fundamental convention of the following, making sure that the employees' rights are protected, and the safe and fair working conditions are actually being enhanced, because the standards for the labor practices around the world works to improve working condition by looking at the freedom of association, collective bargaining, forced labor, child labor, equality of opportunity and treatment, tripartite consultation, labor administration, and labor inspection. Then the 5R framework would look at revenue for strategic alignment, reputation for external awareness, and recruitment for talent acquisition, then internal engagement for retention, and partner collaboration for relationship to assure that CSR internal reporting is aligned with strategic relevance of making sure that the company would take responsibility for the impact of their operation. They would respect the rights of their stakeholders, that the company would strive to create reciprocity for mutual beneficial relationship with stakeholders, and a distribution to strive social and economic value by distributing wealth and resources. Then renewal to strive resources and production methods that are sustainable and environment friendly. Now, we are on the third W. Who should perform? It can be performed externally or internal entities. And if it is external, it would be the stakeholder groups and independent agency. While internal, it would be an independent organization unit or part of the CSR committee function. Then, when we should conduct the timing, it should be done at a regular interval after the reporting period or after the normal operating cycle or as demanded. Then the standards would be, we have the UN Global Compact, we have the Global Reporting Initiative at the international level. Also, at the international level, we have the United Nations Development Organization and the ISO 2600. And in the Philippines, we have the Securities and Exchange Commission under the Memorandum Circular Number 4 in 2019, which is about sustainability reporting, which they would be planning to have it mandatory in 2023. And in the Philippines also, we have bills from the Senate of the Philippines and the House of Representatives. We have the CSR Act of 2019, sponsored by Mr. Ramon Revilla Jr., and the House Bill 90-2016 is sponsored by former President GMA. And in 2020, we have House Bill 6137, both of which are related to Senate Bill 656. So looking back, so the importance, this is, somehow it gives us information that sustainability reporting covers corporate social responsibility, and the basis is we have 7 framework. The conduct will be 2 aspect, internal and external. Performance can be also 2 aspect. We have the regular interval or as demanded, and the standards internationally or in the Philippines. And good thing, according to Thomas, I hope we will soon reach a stage where no one has to choose between principles and profits. It will only be principled profits. And thank you for caring for the future. And we have to do it right the first time. Good day.